Hi guys, this is the Innovative Minds tutor, Mr. Richard. So in this video, it's a continuity of Prelim Gauteng 2022 Grade 12 Mathematics Paper 1. If you are new to this channel, what are you waiting for? Kindly subscribe. You only subscribe once. Thank you guys. Without wasting time, let's get to today's video. Well, we are dealing with a function, but as you can see, this type of function, it's a exponential. We can see that the graph of h of x is given as a to the power of x, where a is greater than 0, meaning that a must be positive when you calculate it. And it's sketched below, given that a point is negative 1.5, it's a point on a graph of h. Well, they're given 2 points, the point of Q as well as the point of P, right? So the first part will be write down the coordinate of Q. Okay, let's write down the coordinate of Q. You can see that Q cuts at the y-axis, meaning Q it's a y-intercept. So this is what we are going to put it into practice. For Q, so what? So y-intercept. So if it's a y-intercept, you let x be 0. So let's go and write our equation there, given as h of x is equals to a to the power of x, where we can h of x we can replace by y, then where there is x replaced by 0. So any base that is powered by 0, we know that it's 1 in this case, so we are going to have y is equals to 1. So they were looking for the coordinate, so actually it's 1 mark, so it's going to be 0 and 1. Don't just write y is equals to 1, just write the coordinate, because it's 1 mark. They were looking for a coordinate, right? So let's go to number 2. Now determine the value of a. How many marks is that? That's 2 marks, right? Right, you're still on the right track. So at 5.2, we need to find the value of a. So remember that you are given y is equals to a to the power of x, as well as you are given a point which is negative 1.5. So in which this is x and y. We are going to substitute this point into this equation. So where we see y, we are going to replace it by half, and where we see x, we are going to replace it by negative 1. So there's a law of exponent that will work in this case. Since it's given as a to the power of negative 1, we know that a to the power of negative 1 it actually it is a negative exponent. So the law, when you're having a negative exponent, you're going to have a fraction. So it's going to be 1 all over a, and remember that is equals to half. From here, to get a, we need to cross multiply. Orlando Pirates. What is 1 times a? It's a. What is 1 times 2? It's 2. So definitely we have calculated the value of a. So a is 2, and it's aligned with the restriction because they said a must be greater than 0, so which is true. So we were expecting a to be positive. If you did get negative a, you are in trouble. So I advise that when you're working with this video, or you are practicing, kindly pause the video, do it yourself, and recheck. Right, so let's go to 5.3. Write down the equation of the inverse in the form of y is equals to. That is also 2 marks again. So remember that now we have, at 5.3, we now have h of x is equals to 2 to the power of x. So remember that this is in a form of y is equals to 2 to the power of x. So for an inverse, you interchange, you swap the variables. So where there is y, you're going to have x, and where there is x, you're going to have y. Then, as we all know, guys, the inverse of an exponential, it's a logarithm. Inverse of a logarithm, it's an exponential. So we are going to have a logarithm here. So we're going to have log base. A base is 2, and our number is x, and which is equals to exponent. It says log base number is equals to exponent. So our base is 2, and our number is x in this case. Then our y, it's an exponent, which is the subject in this case, right? So we have to leave it in a form of h inverse of x there, which is equals to log 2 and x here. So already got that 2 marks. Then let's go to 5.4. We're looking at 5.3. Remember, at 5.4, guys, you are required to sketch the inverse in your own answer book. Clearly show the intercept with the axis. In this case, guys, you just swap the coordinates. You can see that here we're given a 0 and 1. So when we swap this, it's gonna be 0 and 1. So it's gonna be 0 and 1 in this case. Okay, we also have negative 1 and half. So we remember that 0 and half, it's half is here, so it's gonna be half and negative 1, which is somewhere here, and negative 1 and negative 1. So in this case, we're going to have half and negative 1. So that will be our P in this case. So we are going to have a sketch like this. Okay, sorry for my sketch. We're going to have a sketch like this. So this is the inverse. Sorry if I didn't apply accuracy, but then they'll pass the straight line there, the dotted line. So it should be like this. So you should have draw something like this, right, at 5.4. So that's 2 marks. Okay, now write down the domain of H. When you talk about the domain of H, we're talking about the x values of this inverse. So in this case, we can see that it passes through the origin. So it will be x is greater than 0. In this case, it's at the origin. X is greater than 0. So that is 1 mark. Then let's go to 5.6. Hence or otherwise determine the values of x for which log base 2x is greater than 1. Let's put that into practice. Remember, you're looking at 5.6. It's given as log 2x there greater than 1. So since we're given a logarithm, you are going to change it to an exponential. So it's going to be a base, then an exponent, which is going to be 2 to the power of 1, and a number, which is x. So definitely we are having x is greater than 2. Remember, 2 to the power of 1, it's 2. So that's how, guys, you can work out such problem. That's how you can work out such problem in this case. So let's go to 5.7, guys. All right, at 5.7, if g of x is equals to 100 multiplied by 3 to the power of x, calculate the values, the value of x for which h of x is equals to g of x. So this is an intersection of both graphs. Remember that at the graph of h of x we are given as 2 to the power of x, and the graph of g we are given there as 100 multiplied by 3 to the power of x. So the best thing will be dividing by 3 to the power of x, so that we make this simpler. So this and this, they cancel. So from here, you're going to factor out. You're going to have 2 divided by 3, and you factor out x here, which will be equal to 100. So therefore, in this case, when you are here, because you're looking for the value of x, we can see that the bases are not the same. We can apply logarithm. So we could just say log base, which is 2 all over 3. Then number, which is 100, is equals to log base number, which is 100, is equals to exponent, which is x. So let's punch that in our calculator. So just say log log 2 all over 3. Okay, what are you having there? You're having negative 11,35 blah blah blah. Correct to 2 decimal places, that will be negative 11,36. Negative 11,36. So that's the solution in this case. That's how you can get 12 marks, guys. So these are simple, easy marks. See you tomorrow, guys, on the next video, where we are going to look at question 5. If you're new to this channel, what are you waiting for? Kindly subscribe and share the video as you're preparing for prelim. I just want to say, guys, nothing beats practice. Practice makes it better and better and better, and you'll be better. Thank you.